There's a long road just behind you. Everything else comes so fast. Memories are all inside you, and you never make them back. I can feel that cheering for the words that did not make sense. You can feel what I mean now that you're here just now. There's nothing to fear along the way. There's nothing I can say, nothing I can say. But I say, you can wipe the years driving. I say, you feel the fear coming. There is one thing that's true, only one can get through. One thing that's true, just gotta make it last forever. Wonder why I can't feel relief with a beating right up tongue. Find something to believe in and never give up. I can feel that cheering for the words that not make sense. You can feel what I need now that you're here. There's nothing to fear along the way. There's nothing I could say, nothing I could say. But I say, you can wipe the years hiding. I say, you can feel that fear coming. There is one thing that's true, only one can get through. There is one thing that's true, just gotta make it last forever. Ever, ever, it will never last forever. Ever, ever, you just gotta live forever. There's nothing to fear along the way. There's nothing I can say, nothing I can say. But I say, you can wipe the years driving. I say, you just gotta make it last forever.
Yo, what's up guys? WillTheRNGLord back for my The Krash Season 2 draft analysis. So I haven't uploaded in a while, but that's enough of that, and we are going to get straight into it. So this is a league hosted by two of my greatest friends in the community, Krypto and Bash. And so they decided to call it The Krash. And Season 1 was points-based. My team was kind of broken. I just barely made playoffs, but I dropped out around that time because I didn't really want to play Mons. But my team made it to finals. It was a very, very good team, but that was a point system draft, and there you could only draft one Z crystal. So this season they decided to go with a Smogon tier theme. Like, they had 3 OU, 3 UU, 3 RU, and 2 NU Pokemon for each team, and then 2 Z Crystal users for the remainder of the team. So I'm about to show you the team I drafted and why I drafted it. They are in order of the tier, not in the order I drafted them. However, I do remember the order that I drafted them in. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about that a little bit, why I picked each of these Mons, and yeah. So here's our team. The first Mon I started out with was Necrozma, because Necrozma and RU is a steal. Like, everyone was grabbing their OU early. I had 4th pick overall, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? There's some really strong stuff in OU. A lot of strong stuff, actually. So I think I can afford to wait around, and I'm going to take a Mon that should not be an RU, and that is Necrozma. So, why Necrozma is good in League format, I think everyone knows by now, but it gets access to set up to all of its stats. It gets Photon Geyser, which can either be a physical or special move, depending on which one Necrozma's stronger in. It gets Stored Power, which is amazing. It gets Stealth Rocks. It gets 2 forms of recovery. It gets Knockoff. And it only has 3 weaknesses, all getting weakened by its Prism Armor ability. So, Necrozma is just overall one of the best Mons I could have taken round 1 because it was in RU, and some of the stuff that you really want to use, that's gone in the first 3 picks. So I thought I'd be realistic and I'd go for lower tier power before higher tier stuff. So the next Pokemon I picked, I was sticking with the lower tier power thing, and the next Pokemon I picked was actually Mamoswine. So, a little story behind this pick. Mamoswine is just a really offensive threat, but originally I wanted Suicune in that spot because I thought Suicune is like one of the best bulky waters in the game, but I unfortunately did not get Suicune. Suicune got taken 1 pick before me, so I ended up deciding to go with Mamoswine because I thought it's a UU ground type. At that point, I had already kind of figured out what I wanted in OU. Excuse me. Had a cough there. But yeah, so I wanted to take a really strong ground type out of UU. So Mamoswine seemed like a great option. It's a stealth rocker. Has 2 great offensive typings, being ground and ice. And it has some nice utility as well. Has a priority move in Ice Shard. Overall, just a great pickup for the team I was trying to draft. And so now I'm going to talk about my 3rd pick of the draft, which was continuing on the lower tier theme. I picked up Hydreigon. So, Hydreigon is also a Mon I do not believe should be in UU. It's a very strong pickup for that tier. It's a great special attacker. It gets access to U-Turn and Tailwind and Defog and things like that as well. Or I think it gets Tailwind, I'm not exactly sure. I think I recall it getting Tailwind. I know it gets Taunt and some other great utility moves, but sorry about that. So yeah, that Hydreigon, just the Dark and Dragon type. I kind of had a Steel and a Fairy in mind, which you see there, but I just thought Hydreigon would be the perfect thing to round that out. And yeah, so I picked up Hydreigon there. The next thing I picked up was Zeraora because my team looked kind of slow, and I'm just like, a fast electric type would really help the team. And so I picked up Zeraora. Great wall breaker. Like, it's kind of newer, so people don't really know how good it is. Or I think some people are aware, but it's like newer, and people are like, oh, everyone just wants to try the new Mon. That's not the case. Zeraora is just really powerful. Like, this is my 2nd time using it, and I know that this Mon is just a powerhouse. So, so that was the first OU pick for me. And then I went back to RU, and I grabbed Araquanid. So, at this point, I was thinking, okay, I'm going to commit to the Tapu Bulu Heatran plan, and because they are both really slow and Zero Aura is the only fast mon I have so far, I need to get something out of RU that can help with my speed control. So I took Araquanid because not only is it a bulky water type, but it can also set sticky webs, which is very helpful. And the water bubble is nice because it gets rid of the fire weakness. And Araquanid does get water absorbed, so if I need to bring a water immunity 1 week, that can be really helpful. So that is why I picked Araquanid. Just the bug water typing and RU, it being a bulky water that can set sticky webs, was just perfect for my team, and I knew that's what I had to take there. So now I go down to NU. And in NU I picked Licky. So another thing I realized with my team is its recovery isn't great. Like, Zero Aura gets Drain Punch, Tapu Bulu has the Grassy Terrain and Horn Leech, but Hydreigon gets Roost, and Necrozma gets Moonlight, and I guess, Araquanid gets Leech Life, but I really wanted Wish Recovery, and, something that can heal my mons as well, with Heal Bell, and just a support mon in general. And I love Licky to do that role because of the Oblivious ability. It cannot be taunted. And Licky just seemed like the mon that can sponge hits and make it so that I can get free wishes into some of my threats, some of my wall breakers. So that's why I chose Licky as my first NU pick. Now the next round, I think I already had this is where I started getting my OU stuff. So I waited on these, but I didn't wait too long on them because some people still had OU stuff and I didn't want them taking it. We got Tapu Bulu, which it's not a good fairy type because it doesn't really have any fairy coverage or anything. But I mean, I love the ability to heal all my mons up with Grassy Terrain. The opponent benefits a little bit from it. Not as much as I do, though. I do have some ground weakness Pokemon, like Heatran and Zera Aura and Drapion. However, I just wanted Bulu because it was raw power at that moment, and that is exactly what this team needed. And Heatran, not much is to be said other than it is the perfect combo for Bulu because Heatran and Bulu, they check each other's weaknesses perfectly. Bulu is weak to fire, ice, poison, and steel. Heatran resists all of those and is immune to fire. And Heatran's weak to ground, which Bulu makes weaker. Heatran's weak to water, which Bulu resists. Heatran's weak to fighting, which Bulu resists. So overall, I just felt this combo is really, really good together because of their typings. And so yeah, that was my OU. And so because that rounded out my OU, I'm gonna get a lower tier Mega. However, I wanted to make sure this wasn't taken. So this was my next NU pick. I picked Mismagius because this is also a very fast mon. It can wall break really well. It has a good special attack stat. And I felt it could do work with Araquanid being a sticky webs user. I can run choice specs on this thing or whatever. Just offensive ghost. And it has a ground immunity, so I can switch this in to take a hit for Heatran or something. Oh, I didn't mention Heatran's Fire Steel typing being amazing, and like rocks and stuff. But let's get back to Mismagius. Just Ghost is an amazing offensive typing. Not every draft has one, and I wanted to use Mismagius for the first time after it getting sniped from me in a recent league. So now we are on to the last two picks. So originally I had planned to take Toxicroak as my second to last because I did not have a fighting type. However, I realized that there is another Mon that can set toxic spikes that is only weak to ground, which Tapu Bulu makes it so the ground weakness isn't as big. And it can do 2 roles a dark type does that Hydreigon can't. It can knock off and it can pursuit, which Hydreigon can do neither of those things, as well as Drapion letting me get rid of toxic spikes, where Hydreigon, my other dark type, it has Levitate, which Drapion's only weakness is ground, and Drapion resists all of Hydreigon, has neutral to all of Hydreigon's weaknesses. So I thought I'll just take Drapion because it's not bad to have 2 dark types. They do completely different things. Drapion does what you usually want a dark type to do, and it and Hydreigon share no common weaknesses, so and it kind of synergizes with Bulu, so that is why I took Drapion. So finally, the mega of the draft. I knew I wanted this as soon as my OU was decided. I'm like, okay, I need a Fastmon, I need a flying type, and preferably another stealth rocker. And Mega Aerodactyl fit all of those descriptions. It's very fast, it's immune to ground, it's a flying type. There's really not much else you could want from this draft. This is one of my favorite teams I've ever drafted, honestly. And sometimes I get some really broken teams, but I feel like this one is very fair and balanced. It's really nice. I like how it ended up overall. I like the speed tiers. I like my ability to wall break with access to sticky webs. Overall, I just really love the team. If I could change one thing about it, it would be the hazard removal, as I only have 2 options, which are Hydreigon and Aerodactyl. However, my Pokemon can recover very well. Licky Licky has Wish Pass that can't be taunted, so that's good. So overall, I'd rate the draft an 8 out of 10 overall. Sometimes I get 10 drafts, but I rate this one an 8 out of 10, honestly. And I'm really fine with that. So I plan to upload all of my matches for this. You will see them shortly after they have been played. And yeah, so that will be it for my draft analysis, and I will see you guys for my week 1 match.